Welcome to the Bottomless Rugby Show. Later than normal, but we're still here. Thank you, friends. Been a bit of a rough run-around week on my own end. Running your own business and running online stuff. Things get complex actually in life, eh? But man's taking some time with his mentor. Got someone some strategy planning, and back and refocused. But also preparing for our little new thing of having 2 videos a week as opposed to 1 video a week. So get ready for that, friends. But the social media's online on the screen right now, so check it out. Also, guys, it was a weird weekend because it's basically now just done to Super Rugby Australia down here in the Southern Hemisphere, and most of the other rugby is overseas. And the main thing, South Africa Super Sport, has limited games that are played from the Premiership and nothing else really. So one has to scour the internet of highlights in order to see what's happening overseas. So a couple of weeks we're still deciding, as to what direction to take some of the stuff as we wait for South African rugby to come back. So but talking about rugby overseas, let's begin with Super Rugby Australia and find out what happened there this past weekend. Alrighty, Super Rugby Australia had 2 big games, high scoring, pretty exciting, which doesn't happen too often in Australian rugby. Maybe trying to make up for the fact that we no longer have any rugby happening in New Zealand, so good work from them once in a while. So want to hear from Dup and let him tell us about the massacre that happened this weekend.
Oh boy, did the Reds give the Force a hiding. 57-5 at halftime. It was 15-0 to the Reds. Which does bring me to point number 1. This was a second half onslaught by the Reds. They figured out the Force defense and they unlocked it. Particularly Tate McDermott was quite effective in messing up their defense. And second half they just took full momentum off the match and just ran in a whole bunch of tries. Which brings me to point number 2. There was seemingly no defense from the Force in the second half. They missed 41 tackles and the Reds had 21 clean breaks. Most of these happening in the second half. They just completely took the momentum away from the Force in that middle period of the second half. And it was game over for them after that. Particularly James O'Connor, he's my man of the match. He really used that backline to its full potential. 4 try assists, quite a lot of running meters, sneaky little offloads, a couple of defenders beaten. He had a really good showing for the day. So man of the match to him. Congrats, man.
Alrighty, thanks, bro. That was an intense game. They really should work on the defense once in a while. I think the Force is just really there to make up numbers. There's not really a real reason for them being in this competition at this point, but hey. 5-on-5, having 10 teams together in New Zealand, Force will be getting massacred every weekend. So, Jason, can you just tell me about what happened in the Brumbies and Waratahs game?
This was not a good match for the Waratahs. They lost 38-11 to a weakened Brumbies side, and just to add insult to injury, the TMO was against them as well. So there were 2 contentious tries for the Brumbies. Their first one, the 9 passed to the 10 who grabbed the ball through. The 9, without going back, just ran forward, grabbed the ball and scored, and the TMO allowed it. I don't know. Second point was a bit more tight. Pete Samu's second try, it looked like his foot might have touched the whitewash. TMO again said it was fine. That one, it's here or there, but that first try was just ridiculous. But it wouldn't have made a difference on the scoreline or in the play because the Waratahs were just not good enough where it counts. So they were fairly tight most of the stats, but the big area of concern is a 58.3% line-out success rate. That is atrocious. You can't be losing that many lineouts, especially on your own ball. I mean, how do they expect to win, especially against the Brumbies? Anyway, moving on to man of the match. A couple of guys could have gotten it today. Kunzel was very good. Mearhead was good. Wright scored 2 tries, but I'm going to be giving it to Pete Samu. He was a hard runner today, good on the ball, had a few good runs down touchline, obviously got the 2 tries, and was very solid on defense. So for that well-rounded performance, I'm giving him my man of the match.
So clear favourites. Brumbies are back up there. Even without Olesio, the mercurial 10. So we'll see how that goes. So, brings me to a new section, World Attack. World Attack is me just this week is me telling you it because I couldn't get around to as many of the games as I wanted to. Lots of highlights I was trying to keep up with. And first of all, I do love the fact that the Premiership has a very easy to access highlights as opposed to previous seasons where they would only do like these little 2-minute highlights and you miss a lot of the action. So yeah, it's a bit better in that regard. And yeah, some good rugby writers around the Northern Hemisphere. So yeah, this is going to be a section where we're going to talk about what's happening all around the world. News, views, will be different to what happens in the pod. So yeah, we just catch up on the different stuff that's happening in the world of rugby. So yeah, and just give an international perspective on the game. Once in a while, I'll hope to like dig into some of the more obscure rugby nations and what's going on there, just to just have a full-on world view as to what's happening in this wonderful game of ours. But yeah, bringing us on to the moment of the week from the Sarries game. Enjoy.
Toyimbo has his kick past his yards down, and it's Satoje who can pick up. He's got numbers right and left. Lewington! It's a try bonus point score for Saracens, fortuitous it may have been. Big smiles on Saracens' faces.
Alright, some creative thinking, but also remembering the laws. Toje, well done on that, mate. And finally, yeah, broke to a section we used to have. What to watch this weekend? We're not watching rugby. Friends, I have the recommendation. So I'm like 2 years late on this recommendation because this came out in 2018. But this week I watched Wild Wild Country. It is literally the best way to pronounce it, to say that. It is wild. Like, every time you think you know what's coming next, it goes sideways. It's a documentary on this cult that essentially took over a town in America and how the back and forth that happened, and eventually they ran away, or tried to run away. And they did get away successfully, but they were deported. There's a lot that just happens. Hour and long episodes, but it is just brilliant, like, story. Not great in some places because there was some poisoning, so we can't say that's brilliant. But like, yeah, it was just an amazing story. Like, so one of those you think you'd hear about more often, but yeah, I'm surprised. Like, it was the first time I heard of it. So that was a good recommendation from Bafana Madeda, Epic Business Partner as well. So yeah, thank you guys. So let's just say thank you all for joining me this week. It's been great. Always fun. There's some tweaks coming, just working on things as usual. So watch out for those. And yeah, have a brew, have a good coffee, whatever other brews are available, because throats are open now in South Africa. So yeah, have a good bottomless weekend. Cheers, guys.